Morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you're all well. Give me 2 seconds because I've got way too many tabs open and I've completely lost the plot. How are we doing, guys? Give us a wave. Give us a wave. So welcome to the Sell What You Know show, peeps. Happy Thursday, everyone. And welcome to those of you watching later on and listening into the podcast. Every Thursday morning, 9:30 a.m., we're here to bring you awesome tips and advice to help you take that firm, solid step into boosting your online coaching, mentorship, teaching, or tutoring business and help you, get on the way, basically. So this week we have Jose here, who's going to be sharing with us how to improve your public speaking. And trust me, you're in for a treat because, I remember I saw Jose a little while back. I'm not going to say anymore. Actually, I'm just going to let it be a very pleasant surprise for you. So without further ado, ladies and gents, I'm absolutely buzzing to have Jose back again because this is one of my favorite presentations that I've seen for a very long time. So without further ado, over to you, Jose.
No pressure, people. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening. Where are you in the world? Where are you in the world? This is not an invitation to start typing in the chat, but if you want to share, why not? Why not? Let's just share a little bit, warm up. Jay, you always, raise the bar, and that's fantastic. And I'm going to look and try to find some connections with what I'm going to be talking about today. Definitely interesting, buddy, as usual. UK, Manchester, many people in the UK as expected, amazing stuff. People hear me speak and they say, where are you, Jose? For some reason, you people never place me in the UK, even though I am in the UK. You always send me back to Venezuela, to Spain. The other day I thought you were in Singapore. I don't know where that one came from, but anyway, I'm going to share the screen. I've just got some images that I'm going to be sharing with you along the session. And I think you guys said I had like 30 minutes. Is that correct? Just to make sure we're on the same page. Buddy. Yeah, fantastic stuff. So I've got two screens here. I'm going to move all of your faces to this part of the screen so I get to interact with you all because my laptop is not that big. So just bear with me while I expand this chat here. There we go. I get to see most of you. I see we're 40 people, so fantastic stuff. Yeah, Mark, I can see you enjoying the gestures, that powerful body language. Let me just come back here again now. Getting all set up. Cool stuff. You know what? I'm going to start today, and thank you so much, Mark, because apparently my presentation left a good impression, and that's what I'm going to be touching on today. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see that I help businesses, blah? Can you all see that? And you guys pronounce my name really, really well. I don't know whether you've heard me in the past or whether we've had the chat or you've heard my story, because the first time I arrived in the UK, I'm going to cast you back to 2007. Yes, I landed in the UK, and you can imagine I'm super excited because for the first time, I'm going to be working in an English speaking environment, one of my dreams since I was a baby. Well, a baby, 5, 6 years old. And picture this, the sun was shining and the birds were chirping and I'm so excited. Yes, I was in the UK, so we can't ignore the sun because it was raining. I didn't see any birds anywhere, but it doesn't matter because I had landed a job and I was, as I said, like 3 times already excited. And I arrived to the place I was going to be living in and I knocked on the door. And as the landlord opened up, he said, Josie, welcome, great to meet you. And I literally did just like, I turned around. Who is this guy talking to? And I just went, okay, so Jose, Josie, yes, welcome in. Let me show you your room. And I said for the 3rd time, it's Jose. Yeah, that's fine. Well, Josie, and you let me know if you have any questions. Teaching point. It may sound obvious. In these multicultural environments that we're living in today, it is important to get people's name right. One thing, key of communication 101, one of the principles. It is the first thing we hear when we are born, or potentially the second. They slap us, we cry, we gain some oxygen, and they give us a name. If we change it later, that's a different story. And also think about when you present yourself, take your time to say your name. You have no idea the amount of times people come to me. Yes, I'm Richard Allen. I'm Jonathan Stapleton. You know, it just goes so quickly. And sorry, Jonathan, that I messed up your name and Richard. But you guys go so quickly sometimes. And in general, when I present myself in Spanish, yeah, I'm Ucar. No, take your time and find a way to be memorable, because that may be the only opportunity you have for them to remember your name. I just did a talk, a 5-minute mini session, only around names. So this is impactful. And this kind of, you know, name matters. If you only take this away, it won't be enough for you to create an impact. So don't go yet, okay? Stick around. That's the first thing. So now you know what I do and all of that. And I want to speak to you about something that is very close to my heart. And it's also close to my belly, which is food. So who likes to eat out? Raise your hands. I'm looking at the screen here. So who likes to eat, as in, yeah, foodie type of people. And some of you may see that, well, Jose, that's not very vegan, or sorry, vegano, vegan. Yeah, it's not. And there's some fried stuff in there. Well, I don't eat that every day, but that is my Venezuelan dish. And the story that goes with this is that a couple of weeks ago, I decided to surprise my wife. And I said, I'm going to take you to this restaurant in London. And I didn't say anything else. When we opened the door and the waiter welcomed both of us in, I started to regret it, because the guy was a Cuban gentleman, very good looking, strong, twice my size and everything else. And I just actually grabbed my wife, darling, please just get close to me, get close to me. After a couple of minutes, I connected with the guy, incredible, very sweet. And picture this restaurant as a Latin American place, but there isn't like the salsa music and everyone shouting. Actually, very, I would say, people were composed, behaved for Latin Americans. It was a multicultural environment. And they took us to a table that I requested near the kitchen, where we could actually speak to the cooks and people in the kitchen. So they would make us the cocktails pretty much tailored to the way we wanted them. And we would ask for special stuff. And even the food, we would get to pick. So it's kind of a very customized experience. We were there because we wanted to have brunch. That was a Sunday. 9 a.m. Sorry, 9. Well, we were right there around 11 a.m. Brunch time. It was 7 p.m. and we were still there. I'm planning on going there again in a couple of weeks. And I want to ask you, who would like to join me? It's not going to be just my wife. Who would like to come with me and experience some Latin American flavor? Yeah? Many of you? Amazing stuff. Thank you very much, because there is actually room for many of you in there. And ladies or even gentlemen, that's fine. I mean, that Latin American guy, the Cuban guy may still be available. There you go. So my question to you now is, because you might wonder, Jose, where is this going to? Yeah, let's find out together. What have I just done? And now I want you to unmute yourself if you want, or type in the chat. If you unmute yourself, it's even easier for me, because otherwise I don't need to read it. So what is it that I've done? If you want to type in the chat, I'm opening the chat as well. What have I done? Not all at the same time, please.
Sold us an idea.
Okay, that was Arthur's. I sold you an idea. Yeah, sold to me. Anyone else? What else have I done? Because it was more than that. Would you agree that, okay, ask me on a date? Yes, Helen, I did, in a way, building intrigue, the narrative, there's all of that, fantastic. I would also like to add selling without selling. There's nothing in it for me really, but my connection is very close to the place. So selling without selling, and we can, for our businesses, we can start incorporating this more often if you think about it, because we go, now is this selling time. And there is a bit like a cloud taking over us and everything else. Selling without selling. Do we love what we do? Are we proud of what we've done? Are we confident around it? And then if not, you can use some of the exercises that Jay shared. But then all of this you can actually share. You transfer emotions. You have an effect on people. Found a popular subject that we can share in. That as well is an opportunity to build connection. I'm telling a story which is very popular. Yeah, everyone says, yeah, to be a great speaker, use stories, but then use them with purpose. What is the purpose behind the story? What is the structure of the story? What am I looking for? Enthusiasm, fantastic. Oh, Helen, yeah, I see where you're going with this, because my next question was going to be, what could you say about my state as I was telling that story? And enthusiasm is one of them. Passion. Whenever we're going to present, whenever we're going to be speaking to one person, and passion is not Jose's type of passion, super excited, jumping up and down. It's your own passion in your own way, your own enthusiasm, whatever that might be for you. We're all unique in that sense. And take note of this, because the internal structure of the story goes, I mean, there's passion and enthusiasm as I'm sharing it. That's number one. Number two, whatever makes your eyes sparkle. I love that, Mark. Yes. And my eyes do sparkle when I see you, buddy. You've got an aura, honestly. I'm not joking. You are like that Cuban guy, yeah, from the restaurant. Then the second one, people, clarity and knowledge about what I'm conveying. You know, was the message clear? Did I know the place? I gave you enough information? Yes. Third, a key element, believing in yourself, believing in the product or service, and believing in your skills as a communicator. If you're not there yet, what else do you need? What skills do you need? What else? Who can you go to, as Jay shared? And finally, did you notice there was a call to action? There was a call to action. At the end, I invited you. In this case, you can build a call to action. And I really wanted to see whether the story was landing or not, and the emotions and everything else. So you can build a call to action. I've given you a bit of a structure for a story. I will tell you more, but I'm really interested in getting you, and as I point to my head up here, is to think about the internal state, because you may know all of the structures. You may have read 3,000 books because you do speed reading and then you're very proud of all of that, but then you don't go and apply the stuff. You are not confident about what you know, then that doesn't go anywhere. And in a year's time, you're going to be potentially in the same place or worse. So I've given you 4 bits. And as I share with you the structure, hold on, I've got a clicker here, and the clicker always does these things to me. So let me just go back and forth. There we go, back and forth, clicker, working. I want you to be mindful whenever you go and engage people, there is the surface to the deep level of connection. And then find a way, how am I engaging people? With this, I engage you with a story. I told you now how I was thinking and everything else. Be mindful of the impression you're building throughout the process. If it's 5 minutes, if it's 10 minutes, if it's the whole day, because you're continuously building that impression, which leads to that building of trust and eventually the influence. Okay? 4 elements: engagement. How am I engaging? How am I engaging? Sorry. Make the impression, build trust, and influence. And in less than 2-3 minutes, I positively influence you to want to come with me and have a good time. Then how can we then begin to incorporate this into our business? How can we share a business story with the same intention? Whenever you want to tell a story, it's not just a story. Make a point, tell a story, or tell a story and make the point afterwards. And that's how they really work. Because remember, why stories, Jose? You may know this. The mind can only take so much information, and you may have heard this thousands of times, and yet you're still not using enough stories in what you do, all with purpose. Okay? So I've got those elements in there. And that's fantastic, right? Well, okay, I may just share a similar story next time, something that, you know, links to my culture, who I am. If I want to introduce myself, you may be having some ideas now. But then Jay shared this bit already. I mean, we are against something greater than just the things we can do that are external. We are against this bad boy here, people. Would you agree? In everything we do, that bad boy is there. We are wired. We've been wired for centuries, since the moment of our creation. The cave and the caveman and the cave woman, to protect ourselves. It's there to protect ourselves. So therefore, yes, every time we have an opportunity to do something, to speak in public, to share, to sell without selling, to do whatever, the internal dialogue kicks in. Oh, Jose, guys, I mean, Jonathan, Richie, Taryn, guys, I mean, are you sure you can do this? What if they don't like me? What if they spot my accent, the fact that I'm from Venezuela, and oh, goodness me, imposter syndrome all over me? Oh, what if they find out? Well, what are they going to find out? That I like Venezuelan food, that, you know, I'm jealous of the Cuban guy. Put all the stuff out there as well. Free yourself, because otherwise the mind is going to hold you back. 80% 80% of our thoughts are negative, generalizing, of course. So how on earth are we going to communicate effectively? How on earth are we going to be passionate? How on earth, 3 times, I'm not going to say how on earth a 4th time, well, I just did. Are you going to be the best version of yourself on a daily basis, people? Then it's fine. Realize it. It's natural. Don't fight it. Don't control it. Manage it. Be clever. And then this is all good, right? Okay. How do we do it? Jay shares some incredible ways to do it. But then we are up against something even, yeah, I mean, okay, let me shake it off. Because even though we got the mind and we overcome some things and we improve an internal dialogue and we finally decide to put ourselves out there and speak and sell our product and go to a conference and jump on a call with someone, rejection is still there. So it's not just our mind, but then people are going to reject us, which is one of our main fears. The fear of being rejected, not being accepted, that fear of failure. Goodness me. So we got a farty brain. And then you guys come and say to me at the end of the session, well, you know, Terry says to me and Darren and Andy, for example, Jose, that wasn't very good. Crap. I mean, how am I going to feel? How am I going to deal with all of this? Will I ever speak again? I came to the UK. I shared already, yeah, Josie and all of that back in 2007. And the next day, I arrived to the office and I met Alan, tall guy. He was my boss back then, now a friend, tall guy. And he says to me, hi, Jose, mate, how are you? Look, I've got something for you. And I just look up to Alan. Yeah, bring it on. I mean, I'm here. I'm ready to take on whatever you throw my way. Yeah, come on. I'm the confident Venezuelan guy. And then he said, would you like to mind the phones? And I just go, how am I going to mind the phones if I've only been here like a couple of hours? I don't know the product. I mean, my English is fluent. Okay. And then he said, and then I go, well, Alan, you know what? Yeah, come on. What do you want me to do? Just pick up the phone, mate. Okay, I'll pick up the phone. For how long? Yeah, just a couple of hours. Okay, a couple of hours. I'm going to pick up the phone for a couple of hours. Then I sit down, very excited, and the phone rings. And pick up the phone and just go, hi, I'm Jose. How may I help you? With a smile and everything. I'm excited. It's my first day. People, at that moment, I realized my English wasn't up to the challenge, or at least it wasn't good for the UK. This person was calling from Dundee up in Scotland. And I'm just like, what? I'm very sorry. Would you mind saying that again? I'm sorry. Can you call back again? I'm sorry. I'm not understanding. I'm new here. Seconds later, she hung up on me. But before she hung up on me, the one thing I did understand was, you're useless. And she hung up. Wow, that was hard. But let me shake it off. Let me pick up the phone again. And I pick up the phone again. Oh, goodness me. I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand. And same situation. You're useless. And the 3rd time, you're useless. And the 4th time, you're useless. My goodness. The final round, I mean, I'm about to actually just go, you know what? I'm about to slam the phone before you say anything, because I'm not useless. I'm not Josie. I'm Jose. And for crying out loud, people, I'm a human being. When I got there, my confidence, I mean, just to see, because otherwise you're not going to see the camera. So my confidence was like up here, taller than Alan, up here. It only took me 3 hours for it to drop to a level I never experienced before. I could actually walk over it. I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back home. I'm going to give it up. My parents were living in Spain back then. So this is it. Have you ever felt like that? When you just, you know, I'm going to give this up. And something within me said, in my voice, that internal voice that sometimes can be helpful, believe it or not, when you listen to it, now I'm going to call it intuition. Yeah. And he said, fuck it. I'm not swearing, by the way, people. I'm only sharing. I wouldn't swear on a stage like this. I'm only sharing what I thought about that time. And I went again, fuck it. Yeah, fuck this. Fuck it. Yes, fuck this. By the way, I wouldn't swear, but I definitely need to say something, because otherwise you're not going to know what I was thinking, right? And I said it like 3 times. And you might think, Jose, it's fine to swear. It is not, depending on the audience. As I said, I wasn't swearing. In my mind, I did for a moment. But in hindsight, this is what I was doing, people. I decided to fuck it. And from that moment onward, I've been F.O.C things. What is this? What does the acronym stand for? Powerful, by the way. Just give me a moment. 3 things. I don't pretend I'm clever. I don't carry that belief around me. I'm practical. That's something I do. And I believe I am practical. 3 things: flexibility, ownership, and consistency that I apply to everything in my life, not just my speaking. Now you see how I'm picking up now after that story, because definitely in my mind, I F.O.C the heck out of it right now. What do I mean by flexibility? In that specific scenario, and I want you, as I'm sharing this, apply it to your own situations in life, especially when it comes to speaking and you've been rejected and you got your mind playing against you. Flexibility. How can I turn this into a learning opportunity? I'm not going to give it up. This is my dream. This is bigger than anything. How can I look at all of those interactions under a positive light? What can I take away from it? I'm going to own it. It wasn't the lady's fault, that's the fact that she was calling from Dundee and I didn't understand. It was my responsibility. I'm going to own it. She may not realize the damage she could have done or created through her words, because it felt like a cut under my skin. Yeah, death by 1,000 cuts, which is one of my talks as well. That's how it felt. Deep cut, a deep cut. Yeah, there you go. Deep cut. Well, depth, whatever. Okay, you got my point, I hope. So I took ownership. I didn't blame anyone, not even my boss, not even Alan. Go, mate. Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I thought, thank you for the opportunity, because I'm going to grow from this. And then consistency. I started looking for things that I could do in order to improve. And every weekend for the first year living in the UK, I didn't go to the pubs that much. I didn't have much money, but I spent it studying, not just improving my English, but the technical aspects and elements of the business. Consistency, people. 3 things: flexibility, ownership, and consistency. What did I say to him? Alan, put me back on the phone. That happened about a week after that. It wasn't the next day. I'm not going to lie, but put me back on the phone. Success is in the other side of fear. Success is on the other side of fear. You want me to say a 3rd time? I won't do it this time. Remember that one. And then fear are false expectations appearing real. False expectations appearing real. Remember what Jay said, in a way, we're worrying about things in the future that haven't happened yet. Come on, let's just experience. Fuck them, F.O.C them. You may find that, yeah, I may use it, Jose, I may not. I want you to work on your mindset, because it is the most important thing. You need to bring the best version of you when you present yourself and your business. And as I started doing that, people, back in 2007, I started gaining more confidence, because I was F.O.C in everything I saw. I did too much of it in a way, and that led me to a divorce. And I'm not proud of that one, but then that's a different type of F.O.C, right? But at that point, I started aiming higher, looking for more things, looking for more opportunities. So think about it from failure. You fail, yes, many times we fail, sometimes daily. What are you doing to bounce back, which is that resilience element? It's just like when you bounce a basketball or a football and then it bounces. So the harder you smash it against the floor, the higher it's going to rise or bounce, right? That's what I started doing. And 7 to 8 years after that, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do something no one in this business has, had done back then. I'm going to go after one of the top 10 aerospace manufacturers in the whole world, and I'm going to make one of them our client. And I went for one that I knew people had been trying, and I actually never had got to that point. So I started knocking on the door of this aerospace supplier, okay? Aiming for more, daring to mess up, F.O.C in every situation, with flexibility, consistency, and ownership. 2 years it took me. 2 years knocking on that door until finally that day, Luis, his name is still alive, of course. He opened the door and he said to me, okay, Jose, you've been very persistent. Can you present then what is it that your business do? That was my opportunity after 2 years. What is it that your business do? And he didn't give me like the day. I was traveling to Portugal and then to Brazil. That's where they were based. He gave me a couple of minutes to actually deliver a quick pitch and adapt it to what they needed. similar to the story I told you before about the restaurant and everything else, with the same passion about what we could do for them. He then opened up and took me through the workshop. Imagine 2 years knocking on that door. He gives me like 10 minutes. I pitch, I got to the level of influence, and then he invited me in to see a place that I never seen before. Huge machines and things. They were making wings for the A380, if you know Airbus, and all those planes that you see that are huge. So machines that probably were 6 meters tall. And you might wonder at this point, why are you telling us this, Jose? There is methods to my madness here. So bear with me, because, you know, after I did all of that, as I'm walking through, which is an important point, to be able to think on your feet when you're presenting, when you're communicating, when you're selling. As I'm walking through the workshop, he says to me, Jose, thank you for the presentation. I liked it. I'm sure you could help us, but we haven't got time. There's no way we're going to be able to stop any of these machines, brother. So I'm sorry. I mean, you probably wasted those 2 years. Again, F.O.C this, because otherwise I would have said, oh, no, goodness me, I'm not good enough. I failed after all the 2 years and all the time and all the... No, okay. Think on your feet. I said to Luis, just give me 1 second. I picked up the phone and I just called the technical department quickly. Guys, I've got this situation here. What can we do to win this business? And the guy said to me, I'm gonna hang up now. So I'm talking to him. And the guy said to me, Jose, this is what we can do. Ask him for a tiny part, and then we can replicate the whole thing in our UK facilities. And I said that to Luis right away. Luis, I've got something for you. Would you be open to doing it? Yes, fantastic. I took the part. I'm gonna speed up the story right now. I took the part, did some stuff in the UK, went back, proved the concept. A year later, we had already saved over £1 million to this business. Then I left the company because I decided to go, you know, on my own and do what I do, what I'm very, very passionate about. But that was my legacy. What is my point? Apart from thinking on your feet, storytelling, engaging people, being ready to deliver your greatness when they finally give you the opportunity, even without knowing that's going to be the day. There is learning through failure. We are all failing here. But flexibility, and I'm going to go back to the F.O.C, flexibility is going to be key in everything you do. Ownership, consistency. How consistent are you, really? You're probably consistent joining this session on a daily basis, but how much are you stretching yourself? This is what I want you to do. Once you finish this, how many of you are going to go and look for a speaking opportunity to share some stories, insights, or something around your business? How many of you are going to do some selling without selling? This is when I want to hear you. And if you're doing it already, how many more are you going to do on top of the ones you're doing? Because there is imperfection, but there is definitely progress. And this is an open question now for you. How many of you are going to do it? What are you going to do? Who's going to do a TEDx? Who's going to start speaking their greatness right now, even to a higher level? I want to hear you people, because you can definitely sell your business through your speaking, and it's something I do. And we all need storytellers. Yeah, you've gone very quiet. You're probably thinking, well, Jose, no, I'm not going to do it still. F.O.C it. Yeah, F.O.C you. Okay, you can type in the chat if you don't want to talk. Or who would like to talk? You want me to call you up? I'm gonna go after Jenny. Jenny, ladies first. What are you going to do after this? I haven't finished yet, by the way. I haven't finished. Still have got a few minutes if Mark lets me. There we go. Thumbs up. And then Jonathan is leaning forward and smiling as well. And then Helen has been, you know, playing along. Terry, guys, what are you going to do? Are you thinking about something else, or you already doing it? And yeah, Jose, I don't need this. How would you stretch yourself? I know a few questions at the same time. Jenny, talk to me.
I'm going to find a story. I have got stories, but I've never thought of it in this way. So it's something I'm learning in this course. And amazing. I need to find my story in a way that's not selling. My niche is accountancy. for Amazon sellers. So
Okay.
I need a convincing story that's making it interesting.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. The story I use is the one I used to tell engineers when we did launch and learns and things to prove our capabilities and our ability to respond to their demands. And every time I tell it to engineers, they just go, yeah, it's actually good. So I'm sure you will come up with a story. And remember, people, we all have got stories. We all have stories. I just want you to start looking for them and tweaking them. And I'm going to give you something else. And I see Darren, make notes of relevant projects to use to teach video editing. Okay, fantastic. I'm giving a talk at an industry conference in a few weeks. Good, Adam. Put more consistency into the webinar. Get my stories into it. Yeah. I'm going to write up some relevant stories. Okay, it's all about story. Reassess my options and skills to focus on what I can do best. Fantastic. So there's loads of different learnings from this, which I love. So let me give you something, you know, FOC, 3 things, write down previous experiences, Sandy. Yes, key, because then you can use them to illustrate your expertise. Amazing. I love that. Thank you so much for interacting. I thought you were going to be all quiet and it's just, come on, don't do that to Jose or Josie. Cool. 3 things I'm going to share with you now. IPS for storytelling. Introduction for the I. P, problem. S, solution. This is one version. As the Scotch would say, get the FOC there. I love it. I love it. I would love to hear it with a Scottish accent. Who was that? Darren. Darren, would you like to give it a shot? Come on, help me out. I may have another story for the next time.
I'll try my best Scottish accent. I need to get the fuck.
Get the fuck. I love that. Fuck.
I was just trying to think of Kevin Bridges and how he would deliver it. Get the fuck. There you go. That's it.
I'm definitely going to use that one. Hey, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. What Darren has done is some of the things I'm always preaching and inviting people to do. Every time you get an opportunity, say yes. Say yes, because that's an opportunity to connect. That's an opportunity to share who you are. Stage time, wealth time. So I said IPS, right? If you want to make it even more simple, go for the story of a structure. Always to have a beginning. Of course, you need to start somewhere, a middle, and an end. The one I shared at the beginning with the Cuban guy, the restaurant with my wife and all of that, it's got a beginning, a start, the intro. It doesn't have really a problem, but then you can see there is a situation happening. And then at the end is a call to action. Now the story I just told you about this aerospace business, for example, there is the frame of the story of the introduction, you know, how long it took me to get there. When I started speaking to them, they spoke about the problem and how we solved it, the solution. The story about my accent, I gave you the conversation with Alan when I got there. That's the intro. The problem is that when they started slamming the phone and saying I was useless, and then the solution, FOC, you see? So you can apply it differently, but still intro, problem, solution, Mark. Thank you so much. What are you saying about the Cuban guy? Hold on, let me just scroll up. Thank you, Jose. That's Arthur. Great presentation. Yeah, watch out for the Cuban guy. He was gorgeous. I mean, he was just like, yeah. Anyway, so my final point, people, out of everything. Vanessa, thank you so much for listening. Before I go to the final point, know when you're telling your story as well, I gave you the IPS. Have you noticed that I didn't only use words, which you need, because without words, there is only so much we can communicate. What's the Cuban Pete, the king of rumba beat? Well, I don't know that. I don't know that guy, but it was really good, I have to say. But I don't know, maybe you can send me some pictures after this. Anyway, is there a recording of this session or Facebook? Okay, well, that's a question for Alex. So anyway, that's not for me. So I use words. Yes. Yeah, not very clever. I'll say, yeah, absolutely. Then tonality. I play around with tonality. I use the pauses and I use my body language. Sometimes we only use the words and we're afraid of doing things. Use your expressions, use everything. Don't overdo it, do it with purpose. But I like to gesture a lot when I'm telling my stories and my things. That's how I'm representing them in my mind. Then I'm not holding back. This is how I'm doing it, okay? I'm not saying copy my style. Use your own style, but use all of this because this is going to elevate your storytelling, how you make your points, how you captivate your audience. It's going to give you more layers, okay? Be mindful of this. And then finally, I'm going to finish with some ice cream by telling you, people, be less vanilla in your business, in everything you do. Be less vanilla. Yes, one more time. And I explain why I say it 3 times and why I work in 3s, because it is easier to remember. Be less vanilla, people. Thank you, Helen. We don't need more of the same. And when we try to fit in exactly generic, it's just, okay, need to go. All right, Helen, thank you so much. And I hope, well, I'm about to finish. I got a couple of more things to share and that's it. Then I'll wrap up. But thank you for being here and for listening. Feel free to connect. Be less vanilla. Fitting in can be painful as well because you're holding back all the time and you're actually giving into your thinking and that mind of yours. Final story. There is, speaking of ice cream, there is this ice cream parlor in Venezuela. Imagine, by the Andes. I've only been there once because I used to live by the coast. Lovely place, but as well, by the way. By the Andes, tiny place. And it was founded by a Portuguese guy, an immigrant. So I can relate to that because I'm an immigrant as well. And I traveled and I've got the accent and everything else. And he created his ice cream parlor with only 3 flavors. He went, okay, I'm going to go for, guess what? Vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. Well, he wasn't happy with it. After a month, he launched coconut. Ooh. He started getting famous. More people were coming to his ice cream place than others because he was offering coconut. Very tropical, amazing. 10 years later, he won a record Guinness. I don't know, I'm having a bad English day. He won a record Guinness. Do you know how many ice cream flavors the parlor has today? Guess. Give me some numbers in the chat. 50, that's Darren, okay, 50. And then some of you may say maybe, yeah, maybe 80, maybe 125. There we go. He there and his team there to be less vanilla. Over 1,000 flavors, people. Over 1,000 flavors. Yes. Exactly. 1,000 over 1,000. You can get like cocktail flavors. They make whatever you ask for. Even the dish that I presented to you, which is my national dish, they have that flavor. Bad English, good feature in your case. Thank you very much. Well, hopefully it wasn't that bad. But hey, I'll take that. I'm going to F.O.C that right now. That's it. Otherwise, I'm going to go like, oh, this is bad for me. What did he mean? You know, that's the mind, that's the monkey in my mind. Really sorry, I have to go. Okay, David, look, guys, go. That was the end of it, really. I wanted you to think about, you know, storytelling and how you can sell without selling and all of the emotions that go into it. Being less vanilla, daring more, FOCing things more often, work on your mindset because communication starts from within. That is the greatest gift I can give to you today. Communication starts from within. Use your heart, connect it with your mind, and deliver incredible presentations. Dare to put yourself out there. And I've got a little present for you, okay, before you all go and leave me. And this is something I created during the pandemic because I wanted to put all of the foundations of my knowledge in one place. And I created this online course for some of you that would like to improve your mindset, your confidence, your speaking, your communication skills. And because I love you, I really do. When I say I love people, I do love people. Team, thank you so much. And Darren, and thank you for interacting. I decided to give a 70% off on this training. Check it out. Even if you don't buy it, check it out because there is incredible information available for you there around how do you play with this baby, turn it into a powerful machine that works to your advantage, okay? How to communicate one-to-one, what kind of questions to ask, all of these things that are key. And then how to share your greatness with the world, which you have it. So all you have to do, I give you a moment if you want to scan it with your phones, check it out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And then SWYK for the Sell What You Know show, and it's only going to be available for today. Simple. If you want to take action, do it now. If you don't want to take action, don't do it. Don't give me any excuses. Don't give me anything else. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a pleasure to speak to you today. Thank you, Mark, for the opportunity, Taron, and all of you for listening and sticking around. That's me. I'm Jose, and I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much, man. I mean, yeah, like I said, I was really looking forward to this. I love your basketball resilience analogy. I absolutely love that. Yeah, just keep hitting it on the floor and bouncing back. You'd be all right.
Absolutely, buddy. Yeah, and bounce higher. Yeah, love you, people. I'm just typing in the chat. Yes. And anything else, Mark, you need from me at this point? Any questions from the audience?
I was going to say, if anyone's got any questions, now is your time, people. Otherwise, get the fuck on with it.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
Let me stop the sharing now. And where did I go? Let me just go to this screen here. Oh, come on. Well, anyway, Mark, I'm pretty much done. Are you kicking me out now?
Cool. All right, then, peeps. Well, in that case, I think we're ready to sign off. I'm going to put the Sell What You Know challenge post back up. Guys, if you want to go back over this or any of the Sell What You Know show sessions, they are available in the Sell What You Know Facebook group. So yeah, if you've joined halfway through, or for those of you listening back later on and you're thinking, what? Scan what? What are you talking about? What scan? Go onto the Facebook page and check out the video, because it's there at about 55 minutes-ish. Jose, again, thank you so much for coming on, buddy. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go and get some lunch. I'm going to go get some brunch now, because, yeah, that's all I can think about.
Are you going to go to the Latin place? Come with me, and then we'll finish tonight.
Yeah, man. Let's do this. Fantastic. So, peeps, we'll be back next Thursday, 9:30 a.m. UK time. Looking forward to seeing all you beautiful people again. Until then, be safe, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.